So, guys, Cowboys training camp has officially started, and probably this is the first time we are going through a very smooth training camp where everything is going according to the plan. We've got a couple of updates from the ground that tell you how the Cowboys are actually looking like and what can we expect heading into the new season. I also got a leadership council list in my hand from Brian Shottenheimer that's got me looking twice. 11 names total, split up across offense, defense, and special teams, and some of these picks make total sense, but a couple of them got me sitting here going, wait, really? I'm talking about guys who just got here last year already earning a leadership spot, while some names you'd expect to see, guys who've been the heartbeat of this locker room, are nowhere on that list. So, there's a lot going on, let's get into it. What's up, Cowboys? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Cowboys. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's start with day one out in Oxnard. Guys, I am super excited watching these clips come through today. And listen, it was Dak Prescott's birthday, and you could hear the whole team out there singing happy birthday to him on the field. I mean, that right there tells you something about the vibe in that building right now. Guys are locked in. They are working hard, but they still have fun with each other. And honestly, that's exactly the kind of energy you want walking into camp. Now I gotta talk about Ryan Flournoy, cause this man showed up looking like a completely different human being out there. He put on some serious size over the offseason, and I'm telling you right now, Flournoy about to do work this year, y'all. You could just see it in the way he's carrying himself. And right behind that, you got DaRon Bland running out onto the field, and honestly, I'm excited about Jalen Thompson too. He's been my favorite free agent pickup this whole offseason, if I'm being real with you. Watching that dynamic duo run out together, and then you got Christian Parker, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, the energy out there was real. George Pickens looked like he was in real good spirits, just loving life out there. And CeeDee Lamb, he had that extra headgear on, which, makes complete sense after what he went through with that concussion last season. So, gotta be smart about protecting your guys, especially your best players. And then Caleb Downs was out there running onto the field as well, and shout out to Christian Parker, because Downs was looking really sharp in these drills, doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. But I'll be honest with you, there was one clip that had me a little concerned, and that's DeMarvion Overshown working out on the ropes with trainer Britt Brown. I didn't really know how to feel watching that one, I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited about Overshown, don't get me wrong. I think this dude can be special if healthy, but it does make me wonder, are they going to manage his reps this year? Like, are they going to say, hey, we're not going to have you out there every single down, we got to manage your snaps a little bit. That's something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on as camp rolls along. Then you got him working with the linebackers coach Jaydon Blue, and look, this dude is a different animal, man. I mean it. Barham looks like he's wearing shoulder pads just standing there normally. That's how built this coach is. It's wild. And of course, Quentin Williams out there being an absolute monster on the field, but off the field, you just gotta love the guy. He's got that personality that just draws people to him. Now, it got real light out there at Oxnard, apparently. Tons of people just lining up on that fence trying to catch a glimpse of practice. And I was excited seeing Savone Revel Jr. out there too, though I did notice something. His knee was wrapped up pretty good. So if anybody's got information on that, drop it down in the comments for me, because I want to keep an eye on that situation as we move forward. Also, I got to shout out Will Greer quickly because I know this has got to feel weird for him, right? You go from being a player on this team to now standing on the sideline as a coach. That's a real transition to make. And back to Ryan Flournoy again, because I keep coming back to this dude. Don't sleep on him. I really think he's been putting in that work in the gym this offseason, you can just tell. Then we got CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Kevontae Turpin all out there together in Jaydon Blue, man. I've been excited about this guy ever since last season, and from what I'm hearing from the coaching staff, I'm even more hyped on him now. This dude is swift, like genuinely one of the most exciting young players to watch through this camp. And Michael Trigg, from what my understanding is, he's out there too, which is good to see him getting work in. And, I've observed a strange thing that actually caught my attention, and that was the defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, out there signing autographs for people. I don't think I've ever seen that before, honestly, and that right there tells you what people around this building think of this man. That's not something that just happens with anybody. That's earned respect right there. And even before starting of the season, if people give you this much respect, it means you have something within you, but at the same time, this is actually putting a big pressure on his shoulder. So, what do you think? Will he deliver what we all are expecting from him? I am 100% sure he's going to get some good results. Okay, now back to the offense. George Pickens just continues to look effortless out there, man. Everything he does just looks natural, smooth, like he's not even trying. And I really do believe this man's about to have a huge season. I mean that. And CeeDee Lamb, watching him in these clips, he's a run after the catch monster. That much clearly has not changed one bit from last year. And then on running back side, Phil Maffa was out there in the backfield too. Big man back in the building, and I am ready, genuinely ready to see this dude get some live action this season. And watching Jaydon Blue speed on one particular play, that's crazy word. Like legitimately some of the fastest stuff I've seen come out of camp in a while. Javonte Williams was there too. We already know how this guy runs. That isn't changed at all. Now Ryan Flournoy. I don't know why he keeps saying his name over and over, but I really do believe Dak Prescott is going to be looking his way quite frequently this season. This dude's going to be a legitimate problem for opposing defenses to deal with. And on the other side of the ball, nice little punch out on one rep there. Rashawn Gary with Caleb Downs right there on the recovery. That's the kind of hustle play that gets you excited early on in camp. Small stuff like that matters. And last play of practice on day one, from what I understand, it was Joe Milton throwing it to Jonathan Mingo. And honestly, Jonathan Mingo needs to have himself a big camp this year. I'm just going to put that out there right now. That play right there actually reminded me of something Jaydon Blue did back at Texas. It looked eerily similar to a play he broke off in college. And I'm telling you right now, once this dude hits your secondary, you better already be turning around and running, because if you're not, it's over. You're not catching him, plain and simple. So that's day one in the books. And honestly, looking pretty good so far. Cowboys fans, looking real good. Now let's get into this leadership council, because this is where things get interesting for me. So basically, the Cowboys have selected a group of players who will serve as the team's leadership council. These are the players the coaching staff believes have the biggest positive influence in the locker room, communicate well with coaches and teammates, and help set the team's culture. So here's the list Brian Shottenheimer put out for us. On defense, you got Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, and Jalen Thompson. On offense, Tyler Booker, Jake Ferguson, Tyler Smith, Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, and of course Dak Prescott, the birthday boy himself. And then for special teams, you got Bryan Anger representing, which I'll get to that in a second. Now look, some of these make complete sense to me right off the bat. Tyler Smith being on this council, that's a no-brainer. Everybody saw that coming from a mile away. Javonte Williams too, with the kind of year that man had, that's a no-brainer. He's more of a lead-by-example type of guy, but clearly that impact was felt throughout that locker room regardless. And Tyler Booker already making this list in year one, man, that says something about that young man. He is special. I mean that. But I'll be honest with you, Jake Ferguson is the one I'm struggling with a little bit here. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm struggling with Ferguson. I really am. And I'm struggling with Bryan Anger too. Not gonna lie to you about that one. Here's what's wild to me though, when you actually look at this list closely. Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark, both of these guys just got to this team last year. And then you got two more players on top of that who haven't even been here that long either, or they still made this leadership council. That right there tells you these guys have been making a real impact in that locker room already, and quick too. Now, on the flip side, there's a couple names missing that genuinely surprised me. I fully expected DeMarvion Overshown to be on this list, and he's not on there. DaRon Bland too, I kinda expected him to make it, and he's nowhere to be found on this list either. And honestly, the two that got me the most, Brandon Aubrey is not on here, and I really thought he'd make it after the year he had. And George Pickens, man, I genuinely thought he was gonna make this council, and he didn't. That one surprised me the most, if I'm being honest. So that's the full leadership council right there. Dak Prescott, CeeDee, Lamb, Ferguson, Booker, Tyler Smith, Javonte Williams, Kenny Clark. And you notice a lot of these guys are mostly brand new to this team, which honestly is kind of ironic when you sit and think about it. And then you got Bryan Anger rounding it all out on special teams. So day one's in the books, this leadership council is officially set, and honestly, I like where this team's heading right now. Feels like a group that's bought early. Let me know in the comments who surprised you the most on that list, and who you think should make the cut instead of who's on there. I'll catch y'all on the next one.